And boom. Hello, 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 hello. Bryce Tubbs here. Hopefully having a really great day. Oh man, it's been a really great day. Hopefully you guys are having a really good time. So today what I want to do is be able to share with you guys, how to go and sell your artwork using Facebook groups. So I'm doing things a little bit differently because I'm using like a camera app as well as using Facebook's Live because I didn't have a good software to be able to kind of share my screen and show it with you guys as well. So kind of excuse a little square around my face. Let's kind of dive into this thing. So I'm going to share my meeting. Awesome. So first things first, if you guys are watching this inside of the live training and you're watching it while it's live, go ahead and write hashtag team live. So that I know like if people are watching it live, I'll be able to make it a little bit more interactive. I'll be able to answer some of your questions. I can know I'll be able to ask some things while I'm here. If you're watching this on the replay, write hashtag team replay. So let me know that as well. Also, if at any time during, your stay inside of this group, this community, or while you're watching this video, if you have any questions that either were not answered or you just don't get around to asking in time, go ahead and comment hashtag connect, and I'll be sure to reach out to you and answer some questions you might have, and then see if it's even a great option for us to work together inside of our Art Sales Accelerator program. Now, as always, please go and invite your friends. We're trying to get this group to about 100,000 members. I don't really know the time frame we're going to do it. I'm trying to do it within under a year, but sometimes it might take a little longer. But I know for a fact I cannot do it without you. So if you're getting any value from this group, if you're utilizing these trainings, feel free to share this with an artist that you care about. And let's kind of jump into this thing. So how to use Facebook groups to sell your art. Now, if at any time you want this document to use as a reference guide, go and type in Facebook group cheat sheet. Okay, put that inside the comments below, and I'll be sure to send it to you when it's ready to be released or as soon as I get a chance. Now, just a preference, like my main method for selling art is called social control. It's the art of building connections with high net worth collectors who buy about 1 to 4 pieces from me each year at my $3,000 to $7,000 price point. Also, you might notice I'm a little bit frazzled. I had a collector kind of called me about an hour and a half ago saying, hey, they were on their way to buy one of my pieces. I thought it'd be coming later on in the day, but they decided to come a little bit earlier. So I have about 40 minutes from now before I have to be done with this video and go sell some of my art out of my home exhibition studio, aka my garage. So just kind of all frazzled today, but that's the life of being an artist. You get to collect, you get to paint, you get to have fun. For me, I build sculptures, and then I just get to go and show it off to people. They love it even more than I do. They take it home, they pay me whatever I want, and then they go. So super excited to have that happening in a couple minutes. Now, however, the one thing to notice is that I use that method, which is social control. This client who's coming, that's not from Facebook groups. Now, I have used Facebook groups to close 6 figures worth of sales online, so I do have a little bit of expertise when it comes to this. Now let's really talk about this because Facebook groups are great when you're starting out and when you're really trying to get some traction. Like if you don't have a lot of money, or if you don't have like money to go to events, and or you're in like a pandemic situation where you can't leave your house but you still need to make some money. So how Facebook groups work is generally you're going to want to develop a network of between 5 to 100 highly potent communities who become your fan base. And you have access to hundreds of thousands of potential buyers who you start forming relationships with. And you cultivate these relationships so then your work, basically you're showing off posts at various pieces of your work to get them interested and to create hype for it. So that when it's finished, these people are ready for it, or they actually buy it while it's still in progress, and it becomes more of a commission piece for them because they really enjoy it. And you just keep closing sales year over year over year over year over year. Now, here's how most people think that Facebook groups work. So, most people think that Facebook groups work by you just posting like a link to your Etsy or to your website like once a week or once a month, and people just start buying. That can happen, but it's not generally going to happen as frequently as what you would like, especially if you're just randomly posting, you have no engagement, no involvement, you don't form a connection with the people, it just doesn't work. Now, imagine that you need to start thinking of Facebook groups more like a networking group. Each time that you see each other, the relationships deepen, and they start wanting to help you out. Sometimes it will ask you directly like how you guys can either buy their stuff or how you guys can work together. And sometimes they'll tell their friends, that they either need your service, they need your work. Now, the more times that you join these networks, the easier it's going to be to make even more friends, and you keep having this what's called a flywheel effect. Each time that you join a new group and you build your process, it becomes stronger, stronger, bigger and bigger, and easier for you to go and be able to reach your goals and make more sales. Now, imagine, going back to our networking analogy, imagine that these networking events are in every country on the planet. You never have to leave the event, and you don't even have to leave your house in order to attend the event. That's the power of Facebook groups. Now, to demonstrate how to do this process from start to finish, let's actually go and take it as if I was, a painter or if I was a sculptor. Let's say, for example, I'm a wildlife painter who paints birds, like exotic birds that, sometimes they're endangered birds, sometimes they're just general birds, just that people have not seen before, okay? So how am I going to utilize a Facebook group? So step number 1 is to identify which groups will go well with the piece or the pieces that you are trying to sell. So every genre, style, and piece is different, so you need a slightly different audience depending on, what you're creating. And even within the piece, it's different, right? They might like something different about it. So going back to our example of being a bird painter, you should make a list of possible related topics that are related to your painting. For example, if you're a bird painter, bird watchers, bird support groups, endangered bird protection groups, bird watchers, association groups, pet groups, blue jay watchers, wildlife photographers, hashtags about birds, hashtags about bird wildlife enthusiasm, bird watcher groups, course groups, like if they sell a course on how to do bird watching, or bird watching photography course groups. Anything that has something to do with the topic and the pieces that you like to create. And the more that you can add to your list and identify, the easier it is for you to be able to get more opportunities to sell your work. Now, if you want a step-by-step walkthrough that shows you how to find hundreds of Facebook groups related to your work, type group searching inside of the comments, and I'll just send you a quick video that I made to show you how to do it. Step number 2 is about getting organized. So organization is your friend when we're talking about making money. A lot of artists struggle because they just kind of do things. It's kind of random and it's kind of what they feel. And while being very intuitive is great when we're painting, we're creating, when we're trying to run the business aspect, being very intuitive can sometimes be a hindrance as far as being organized, knowing who to talk to, when to talk to, what to talk about, and how to speak to them in order to get them really interested. So step number 1 is you need to start creating a spreadsheet, okay? Just a very basic spreadsheet. You need to be organized. If you're going to make this work, this is not really a strategy where you do it once a month and it prints money. You need to know which groups are good and which groups are really bad extremely quickly. If a group is bad or doesn't really work for you, we never want to go inside of it again. And the easiest way to do that is with a group tracking sheet. It looks kind of like this. Let me just pull up, I'll pull up like a random one. Give me 1 second, let me pause my screen. It might pause, it might not. So I'll show you the easiest one when it comes to that group. Give me 1 second, I have a lot of tabs in this spreadsheet. So for example, I know every single group that works really well for me. I have a look at 215 total groups. Now, this is only one type of painting. That's not even all of my paintings, right? I have multiple spreadsheets depending on what type of piece I'm trying to sell. So just kind of going back, that could look really, really overwhelming, but I could, of course, make a simpler one from you. If you want for me to make you a simple spreadsheet for you to be able to track your group progress so that you can track where your sales and your money is coming from, go and type inside the comments group tracker, and I'll be sure to send it to you as soon as possible. And as you join these groups, you need to be tracking like which ones are you joining in order to keep them in order so that you don't get confused. You know exactly where you're doing your activities and what is the output level that you're getting from each one. And if you understand the importance of staying organized, go and write a 2 down inside of the chat below. Go and comment the number 2. Next thing is step number 3. Okay, so interaction inside of groups. So come in knowing that you will get kicked out of Facebook groups that you join. Okay, in some cases you're going to get kicked out of groups for no reason. And you have to be okay with that and understand there are about 620 million Facebook groups according to Google in 2021. So there's 3 main types of activities that I like to do. So number 1 is posting about your art. Okay, so that's both in progress, that's art that's finished, and art that's also sold. Okay, you want to do all 3 because in progress will give people who maybe want to do commissions a chance to kind of reach out to you. And or it shows them that you are constantly working on your craft. The next is when it's finished. Okay, this is generally the easiest one because then people who are interested can actually buy it right then and there. But then the third type is when it has sold. The reason why we're doing when it has sold is because 1, we're trying to make it more exclusive. 2, we're trying to show social proof that other people are buying the work for the price point that you're charging. 3, people want what other people have. It's just human nature. So that's why we're using those 3 posts. The next thing that you can do is posting about your journey, your story, and updating on, what are you doing with your life right now. That's kind of like the work in progress, but not just the work in progress. Like, what shows are you going to? What are you learning? What are you traveling? Like, did you go out to dinner? Like, things that just connect people to you and get your face in front of them. Next thing, I'll actually show you an example of one. So some of you actually might have seen this. Yeah, some of you guys might have actually seen this post. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Like, this is just an easiest one. It's like I'm just telling my story. Okay, a lot of people have seen this, a lot of people like this, and it's just the easiest way. Easiest way to go tell your story is to talk about it and keep practicing, getting better and better and better and better at it, and over time, you just keep making more and more money with it, okay? An example of like a life update. So like I just did one like 20 minutes ago, where I said collectors en route to my house preparing for my home exhibit, and then you would just share those into various groups. This one was for like last Saturday, where I forgot to post that I was taking this thing to a collector's house. The reason why I'm even posting that is because I'm getting other collectors, both on my email list and on my friends list, to be like, hey, oh, Bryce is killing it. I need to go and get this. This is a rush order. I misspelled rush, but whatever. And you're just sharing, okay? This is what you're doing. And then you're sharing from this post. You would actually go and share it inside of the group that you are doing. Then you would go and add it to your tracking sheet and put on the date so you know exactly when and where you did it. Now let me come back to the training tab. Okay, if you understand the 3 main activities inside of a Facebook groups, put a 3 down in the comment section below. There's actually one more I just kind of skipped over. I forgot it. I didn't see it. So number 1, so interacting with other people's posts and comments. Okay, this is actually one of the easiest ways if you start moving. So when you know that a group has actually given you money in the past, there's a bunch of collectors that have either a little bit of money or a lot of money, and you're trying to get that first thing of success, you should actually go very ham inside of these groups and start commenting and interacting with as many people as possible, especially if you make a post about your piece and you're getting people to like, comment, and share on it. You need to be interacting with them, you need to be thanking them for that, you need to be going and reaching out and getting them to go. And those are inside of the group. Okay, so if you understand the 3 main activities inside of a Facebook group, go ahead and put a 3 down in the comment section below. Or if you have any questions, please ask it here inside the comments so I can answer it for you. Next is step number 3. Okay, so interaction outside of the group. Now, whenever someone likes, comments, or shares one of your posts, whether it's a post of your piece, you selling it, or a piece being finished, I'm generally going to reach out to them. I'm first going to send them a friend request and then also send them a direct message thanking them for doing whatever they just did. I'm thanking them, hey, thanks so much for liking my piece. What'd you like about it? I'm thanking them, hey, thank you so much for sharing the piece. What'd you like about it? And from there, you should be asking questions about their life, their interests, their hobbies, etc. And then whenever you are, whenever you're making a new painting, ask them if they want to see it. So as I'm in progress, I'm like, hey, I'm just making this new sculpture right now. It's going to be about this big, this big, this big. Do you want to see it? Oftentimes they say yes, and I just send them the picture inside of like Messenger. Now, when they're interested, generally what happens is they say, oh, I saw this piece on your website, or I saw this piece here, or I saw this piece on your Google Photos gallery. How much does it cost? The key on social media and to avoid feeling salesy or feeling guilty about pushing your stuff is it's really about who brings up the price and who opens up the conversation about buying the piece. If they ask you the price, then it's universally okay for you to sell without feeling guilty or without, feeling like you're pushing people around. Now, from there, you just tell them the price and they're either going to buy or they won't buy. And repeat this process as many times as possible until you reach your goal amount of sales. Now, keep in mind, guys, that this is like very, very time intensive. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you're not working with someone like myself, this is an easy way to get started. And the reason why we're making this kind of post is because I want you to be able to make some money, even if we're not working together. So then you can go and utilize that money to go and invest in one of my private mentorship programs. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm making these trainings for people who need to make money, but they can't quite afford to get into the program yet. And this information is enough to get you started in making money. But the fastest, easiest ways to work directly with me inside of the Art Sales Accelerator program. And it's where I can directly speak into your situation, give you targeted advice so you can raise your price, increase your sales, and then live a life of freedom, passion, and joy. Now, if you want some help growing your sales, comment #connect, and I will reach out to you and see if I can answer some of your questions and see if there's any way I can help you out. Okay? I will talk soon. I will see you later. I think my collector's actually outside. I think that's his car. It's a red. Looks like a red Ford. Interesting. Cool. So I'll talk to you guys soon. I have to go make this sale. Wish me some luck inside the comment below.